God eftermiddag, byråds medlem Schilling, familier og de andre udvekslingsstudenter. Jeg hedder George Grammato, og jeg vil gerne sige, at det er virkelig træls at komme tilbage til Australien. Jeg vil gerne blive i DK, men på grund af jer, jeg må komme tilbage til dette dumme land. I'm well aware that I am the only person in the room that speaks Danish, so if you didn't know what I just said, I just welcomed you all. I've spent a year in the little town on the southern tip of Denmark, courtesy of Cairns Sunrise, the Rotary Club of Cairns Sunrise, and Rotary International. I speak today on behalf of my fellow rebounders. It's great to see you all again, guys. I'll chat with you later. This, however, is a personal account, as we have all had very, very different experiences in different countries. You're an outbound, you're an inbound, you're a newbie, you're an oldie, you're a rebound. It's so strange to stand here, ready to deliver a speech exactly 1 year after I stood here and delivered a very similar speech. At that time, I was full of nervous excitement, a naive young school leaver, and completely unaware that I would stand here again and find it so difficult to speak English. I was prepared, I thought. I'd read all the journals and the blogs and everything like that, and I felt like I'd done my homework. But now, I feel like I've been ripped out of a country and a culture that I love. Everything that I hold dear is now scattered in two very, very different places on the globe, opposite sides of the globe. So now to describe a year in 4 minutes. You will hear it said that my fellow rebounders and I have returned to you as different people. But what does that mean exactly? Exchange is a lesson in adaptability, just how much a person can evolve. From being an inept alien in a foreign land, the new kid at school being ignored, unable to figure out the strange language, let alone understand the people, completely dependent on my host family, my host siblings, and my counselors, who are some of the most generous and amazing people that I've ever met, and longing to be only with the other exchange students who are scattered so cruelly on opposite ends of the country. Your mind pictures your home of blue skies, palm trees, and mangoes, and you wake up each day in a sea of wintry white. You tiptoe around your strange new home, eager to please your host family and contribute wherever possible. But the wintry days continue without any respite. Gradually, it starts to all make sense. You start to understand the language and to, put up with school. You adapt to the cold and the daily bicycle rides to school. You'd think that by wearing so many jumpers that falling off your bike in the snow would be painless. I will tell you that it is not. So many bruises. No longer ignored, you start to bond with the natives. The Euro tour or the safari happens, depending on where you are, and completely honest, that is the pinnacle of the whole shebang. That we jaunt across Europe is something that I will never forget, and for that, I thank you, Rotary. Or when your oldies leave, however, the veteran exchange students, that is, your whole world crumbles. Someone you have looked to for guidance and support in the past 6 months is no longer there. Then, all of a sudden, a newbie arrives in their place, and ready or not, you have to switch from the supported to the supporter. A strange sort of deja vu occurs when you hear the same questions that you once asked being fired back at you. A truer form of empathy than never was. You put on your bravado smile, you hide your sense of unworthiness, and you assume the position of guide, mentor, and friend. Those final few months are of full immersion. Language mastery is going off. You get nuance, innuendo, and a rapidly expanding vocabulary and irony. Thinking, counting, and dreaming have switched languages as the tongue calisthenics continue to evolve. The social calendar is full, the festive season notwithstanding. Hopping across countries to go shopping is as normal as brushing your teeth. Get used to this. So with my year almost up, my concept of home has shifted into a different language and hemisphere. January 2014 loomed like a dark cloud as I imagined a different kind of future than was mapped out a year ago. Those beautiful strangers that took me in and gave me a soft place to fall are now as much as my family here today in Cairns. Departing last Saturday was just as, in fact, more difficult than leaving in January 2013. A different sort of homesickness has set in because I don't know when I'm going to go to Denmark again and see those people. The family waiting for me on the other side of the plane journey is what got me through. Well, that and the mangoes. I'm eating like 6 today. Yes. And so we will tell you that we have changed in our year away, and each of us have evolved differently. For me, I'm not shy with strangers or easily offended. A year ago, I wouldn't have been able to say this. I come from a family of loud, passionate people, lots of Italians. And when the debate breaks out, well, it's like peak hour in Rome. But after a year of being inoculated with blunt and bold Scandinavians, that fire's pretty much doused. I've learned to breathe, look at situations from different angles, and argue relatively rationally. I am now armed with an ability to make friends very easily, no matter what the nationality. I have been handed an outward-looking gaze of tolerance and fellowship in the human race that comes with being the only outsider in a tiny town in rural Denmark. And so, on behalf of all of my fellow rebounds, I would like to thank everyone in the community, especially to Rotary and to our families, who supported us, believed in us, and made sure that there was a safe place to land when we returned. We are forever grateful. Thank you.
Yeah.